Welcome to the Persecution Report. I'm Greg Musselman. Coming up, violence against Christians flares up again in southwestern Ethiopia. Also, problems continue in the trial in the brutal 2007 murders of 3 Christians in Turkey. Later, the dangers of spreading the gospel in Marxist-controlled areas of Colombia.
There are no church meetings, and anyone that tries to organize a meeting, even a home meeting with a few people, could be hunted down and killed in these areas.
Find out how radio is penetrating the spiritual darkness in Colombia on the Persecution Report. Militant Muslims killed 1 Christian in Nesendebo, Ethiopia, wounded several others, burned down 55 churches, 30 Christian homes, a Bible school, a Christian orphanage, and a church office. More than 3,000 Christians are now displaced because of the violence. It all started after Muslims falsely accused Christians of desecrating the Quran. The local police and government officials did nothing to stop the attackers. Federal government officials have now stepped in and removed the local Muslim administrator for his failure to protect Christians. Government officials have arrested several Muslims suspected of attacking the Christians in the area. Jima Zone in western Ethiopia, where Nesendebo is located, was the scene of violent attacks against Christians in 2006, where Muslims killed more than a dozen believers. Hindu militants have attacked Koya tribal Christians in villages in remote areas of Orissa State, India, at least 15 times in 3 months. In the latest incident in Murli-Guda, about 60 assailants from the Hindu group RSS damaged Badan Hontal's eardrums and beat Markari Soma until he fell unconscious. Christian women and children among those injured in the attacks on churches. The violence began when 35 Hindu militants stormed the house of Pastor Mark McCanney and beat him. Christians have suffered midnight raids on prayer meetings in which they have been beaten. Some have gone into hiding. In August 2008, widespread and unprecedented mob violence against Christians erupted in Orissa, in which dozens of Christians were killed and many more were injured. There continues to be complications in the ongoing trial of 5 men charged with the vicious murders of 3 believers in a Bible publishing house in Malatya, Turkey in April 2007 as a result of efforts to identify those behind the 5 suspects. The trial has been underway since November 2007. Recently, 20 people suspected of being involved in the slayings of 3 Christian men, German citizen Tilman Geski and 2 Turkish Christians from Muslim backgrounds, Najati Aydin and Ugar Uksal, were arrested. However, a new judge was recently appointed, and that could further delay the complex trial. Christians make up 1% of Turkey's 70 million people. The rest are Muslims. Shiwahan, a Christian bookstore owner and house church leader, has been released from prison nearly 3 years after his arrest for illegally printing and distributing Christian literature. Weehan, who was first arrested in November 2007, is said to be in stable condition both mentally and physically. At last report, he was home with his wife and 2 children, but government officials were closely monitoring his activities. Meanwhile, a Chinese People's High Court recently upheld the 15-year prison sentence of Ali Mujiang Yamiti, an imprisoned Uyghur house church leader. Ali Mu, a convert from Islam to Christianity, has been detained since January 2008 and falsely convicted, and according to his friends, of instigating separatism and revealing state secrets to foreigners. The message of God's love through Jesus Christ continues to penetrate the most hostile areas on the earth towards the gospel. Case in point is the Marxist guerrilla-controlled areas of Colombia. And as you'll see in this next report, radio is being used to bring light into darkness.
This is what church looks like for many believers in the guerrilla-controlled territories of Colombia. It's just too dangerous for the followers of Christ to meet together.
There are no church meetings, and anyone that tries to organize a meeting, even a home meeting with a few people, could be hunted down and killed in these areas.
Alex and his family are in the heart of a rebel-controlled area. The surrounding communities lived in relative peace until things turned violent.
The civilian population got caught up in the conflict between the guerrillas and the Colombian army, and we were in the middle of this. When the army came and they couldn't find the guerrillas, they would come into our houses and ransack them and try to find someone to kill so they would have results.
Alex says the guerrillas have also caused their share of problems and violence. As a result, the area has been filled with fear and uncertainty for many years. However, in the midst of all the turmoil, Alex, who says he always believed in God, came into a relationship with Jesus Christ.
We were raised with a belief in God by our parents and ancestors, but we never had a church to go to. There was never anyone who could teach us, and we didn't know how to follow the Lord in a close manner. Through the radio, we started to hear a clear message of how to follow the Lord and who He is.
Alex says the impact of the station has made a remarkable difference, and that's why he's involved with it.
I know that there is a big change in attitude here, because when the radio station was first put in, a lot of people were not in agreement. There was a lot of opposition and threats. Now, most of the people are in agreement.
But not everyone supports the station. The guerrillas, who belong to the Armed Revolutionary Forces of Colombia, a Marxist group also known as FARC, are an organized terrorist movement and have an ideology that opposes the gospel. Alex says he's experienced fear at times when the threats come, but adds the Lord gives him peace, a peace he didn't have in the past. But does he ever have any thoughts of leaving the radio ministry?
No, I want to keep going and stay completely focused. This is the center of my focus, and I want to keep doing this until 100% of the people are completely changed.
Just getting the station and over a dozen more on the air in these dangerous locations over the years has been nothing short of miraculous.
Each one of these sites is a miracle, or it takes a chain of miracles in order for it to happen. The Lord puts all this together just to get the power to this site and to get the use of the site and the permission from all the different powers that be, and the acceptance of the people has been phenomenal. And then we began to reach out to each family, giving them a solar-powered radio, and now we've been able to install this radio station right in the heart of probably one of the most hostile areas in this country.
Russell and his team have to travel by night into the area because of all the kidnapping activity. They hide the vehicle and then go up the mountain by horse to get to the transmitter site.
This isn't a drug-producing area, but we're transmitting into areas where there's a lot of drug growth and drug-producing, drug trafficking. But this area is famously known for kidnappings. This is the kidnap capital of Colombia, which is the kidnap capital of the world.
The Voice of the Martyrs Canada provided funds to help Colombia per Cristo upgrade their AM license, along with improvements to the transmitter to greatly increase the area of coverage for the stations in Colombia and other countries, including Venezuela, which is becoming more hostile to Christianity. From the mountains to the jungles of Colombia, the gospel is being heard on Canadian-made Galcom radios. These devices, along with Christian books, sometimes arrive by parachute. Gabriella was suicidal and even had thoughts of killing her children until she was set free by the Lord through the ministry of Colombia per Cristo, which she's now involved with. Gabriella credits the teaching from the Bible she hears on the radio in helping her grow in her faith in Jesus Christ and to endure persecution and danger.
We have a lot of fear of the paramilitary forces because unlike the guerrillas who say, if you keep doing this, we'll kill you, at least they give us a warning first. But the paramilitary won't. They just start killing people. So when they come, people flee to the jungle.
In spite of the threats, Gabriella says she's not afraid to continue her ministry because she's seeing hearts softened and lives changed.
The guerrillas and the guerrilla sympathizers come and pick up radios and Bibles and go back out there and study the Bible and listen to the radio.
What an amazing radio ministry that's being used to bring many to Jesus Christ. By the way, we'll have more reports from Colombia in the coming months on the Persecution Report. To view and download video reports of persecution against Christians around the world, visit our multimedia website at persecution.tv. Remember, when one part of the body suffers, we all suffer. Thanks for watching the Persecution Report. Goodbye, and God bless.
For more information on the ministry of the Voice of the Martyrs and ways in which you can help a persecuted church, please visit our website at persecution.net. That's persecution.net.